Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to Fabrizio Romano, Amad Diallo is still expected to leave Manchester United on loan. Crystal Palace have asked for him, and Sheffield United have asked for him. But he only wants to join Premier League clubs. Many clubs are interested. No final decision has yet been made. Atlanta want to re-sign Amad Diallo on loan. Solskjaer said in his press conference building up to the game against Southampton that he expects Amad Diallo to stay at Man United for this season. Solskjaer said he's been impressed with Amad Diallo in training. Well, it said not so long ago that Amad Diallo is 90% certain to leave Man United on loan in the coming weeks. Romano mentioned that Basel and Crystal Palace have registered an interest in signing Amad Diallo on loan. We got him in a deal worth £37 million. We paid £19 million up front. We got him from Atlanta. He's got a contract with Man United until 2025. I think it'll be the right decision though to loan him out because he'll gain more experience and he'll get a lot more opportunities. Now, Man United give an update on Paul Pogba's future. Solskjaer expects Paul Pogba to still be a Man United player when the transfer window closes at the end of this month. Solskjaer is not worried about Paul Pogba's contract situation. Solskjaer did say that talks are ongoing with Pogba's representatives to persuade Pogba to sign a new contract. Now, it's said that Paul Pogba is set to not sign a new contract this year, but Pogba has refused to rule out signing a new deal. Solskjaer is confident in extending Paul Pogba's contract. Man United is set to make Pogba the highest paid player at the club, with a new 5-year contract worth £400,000 a week. Pogba receives £290,000 a week on his current contract at the moment. Pogba's contract expires next summer. Before the start of the season, Pogba rejected a new contract at Man United, and Sky Sports said that Pogba was increasingly unlikely to sign the new Man United contract. Before the start of the season, Sky Sports said that Pogba sees a long-term future at Man United but may wait on the contract extension. Before the start of the season, Solskjaer revealed that he had positive talks with Pogba over his future, and it said that Pogba was in no hurry to sort out his future, and the Telegraph said before the start of the season that Pogba would start the season with Man United, then he'd make a decision about his future before the 31st of August. Sky Sports said not so long ago that Pogba is very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer, when his contract expires, and it said he's set to join PSG on a 3. PSG are pushing to sign Pogba next summer. It says PSG are prepared to offer Pogba £510,000 a week in wages to prize him away from Man United. PSG getting Pogba this summer hit a stumbling block as PSG got Lionel Messi. But before Messi to PSG was official, he did mention that PSG were the favourites to sign Pogba this summer, and PSG held talks with Pogba's representatives, and PSG were willing to offer £45 million. Mauricio Pochettino played down PSG's interest in Pogba because don't forget he got quizzed on Paul Pogba's transfer from Man United again. Pogba's preference would be moved to Real Madrid or Barcelona if he was to leave Man United next summer. Mino Raiola, he's been working hard to get Pogba out of the football club. He did a lot of talking last season, and he made an announcement back in December last year regarding Pogba. He said Pogba's career at Man United was over. He said he was unhappy and he had to leave, and he had no intentions of extending his contract. We've been very critical of Mino Raiola because he doesn't have a good relationship with the club. Pogba put a very good performance out last weekend against Leeds. He got 4 assists. Also should have got his name on the score sheet because he had a fantastic chance but just put it wide. Pogba produced good performances in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury and he sustained some ankle injuries at Man United. This is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. As it stands at the moment, he's our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him, and we had Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, but we had to let him go due to limited appearances. So that's more news on him. Yesterday I gave you the news on Declan Rice from West Ham. It says Man United will make a late move for Declan Rice if West Ham try to sign Jesse Lingard. A Declan Rice and Jesse Lingard swap deal is possible. Declan Rice is unhappy with West Ham's £100 million price tag. Rice is planning to run down his contract. He will not sign a new contract at West Ham. Declan Rice has been at West Ham for 7 years, so he's been a long-serving player. He's got 3 years left on his contract. His performances for West Ham have been fantastic. He's predominantly a holding midfielder, but he can also be deployed as a centre-half. Before West Ham he was at Chelsea. He was in their youth setup for several years, but he never got in Chelsea's first team. The reasons I'd take Declan Rice at Man United is because he's well proven in the Premier League, still young, got a lot of development in him. If he came to Man United, he'd replicate what he's produced at West Ham, and he breaks up the play well. Lingard, he could still be leaving Man United. in this summer transfer window. Premier League Live actually said that Jesse Lingard agreed to join West Ham on loan in this summer transfer window. West Ham's first team coach Stuart Pearce said that West Ham want to sign Jesse Lingard, and he mentioned that he's a special lad. Well, West Ham received a huge boost in their pursuit of Lingard because Man United dropped their asking price for Lingard to 20 million. Initially, we was demanding 30 million. Fabrizio Romano did mention that West Ham were going to submit another bid. Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham last season, and he made a fantastic impact. Solskjaer confirmed though that Lingard remains part of his plans this season despite the ongoing speculation. Lingard's current contract at Man United expires next year. Now, Man United are unlikely to make any more signings before the transfer window closes. It's under 2 weeks now until the summer transfer window shuts. Solskjaer did confirm though that he wants to make one more signing in this summer transfer window. Solskjaer's priority is to get a midfielder in, and there's been quite a lot of midfielders on our agenda. We have not sold one single player in this summer transfer window. We've loaned quite a few players out. Obviously we recently loaned Andres Pereira out to Flamengo. We loaned Ethan Laird out to Swansea. We also loaned Axel Tuanzebe out to Aston Villa. We loaned Facundo Pellistri out to Alaves. We also loaned Pellistri out back in January. We also loaned Tahith Chong out to Birmingham. Looks like Brandon Williams is going out on loan. Sky Sports News said the other day that Norwich were in advanced talks to sign Brandon Williams on loan, and looks like Ahmad Diallo is going out on loan, and Solskjaer expects Jimmy Garner to be going out on loan. I've already gone through with you the players that should leave Man United in this summer transfer window. I want Phil Jones to go. But he won't be leaving in this summer transfer window. Jones is staying at Man United for this season after Solskjaer tells him he remains part of his first team plans. Jones made his comeback from injury in that behind closed doors game against Burnley. We won 3-1. Jones was out with a knee injury for a while. He sustained a knee injury in the FA Cup game against Tranmere, was it last season. Jones is the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era, and he's been a long-serving player at Man United. He's endured 10 years at the club. He's always been inconsistent. I also wanted to offload Diallo. It said a few weeks ago that it's very likely though Diallo is staying at Manchester United. To Diallo's credit, he was impressive throughout pre-season. Last season, Diallo was out on loan with AC Milan. Like I said, I wanted to offload Lingard. I wanted to offload Nemanja Matic because I've got my strong reservations about Matic because he's always been a static player. He's ageing up and he's not one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he still seems to get his chances. Matic can play well. Matic has been with us 4 years. We got him in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. But yeah, Matic will be staying for this season. Matic could be leaving next summer. Like I said, we need to loan Brandon Williams out. I also want us to offload Anthony Martial, but we're not going to this time round. I've got my reservations about Martial. The Telegraph said before the start of the season that Man United have got no intentions of extending. Sorry, they've got no intentions of selling Anthony Martial, as he remains part of Solskjaer's plans for this season. Well, just before the start of the season, it said that Man United were ready to sell Anthony Martial, and he said we want at least £50 million. Inter Milan were interested in him. They wanted him to replace Lukaku, because Lukaku obviously went back to Chelsea. He said we'd have been happy to loan Anthony Martial out as long as Inter Milan agreed to include an obligation to buy in the deal. Milan have done business with us in recent years. Everton were also keen on Martial. Martial has been at Manchester United for 6 years. He's got 3 years left on his contract and he receives £200,000 a week. Martial has scored 78 goals for Man United in all competitions. And we got him in a deal worth £58 million from Monaco. We paid £36 million up front. Martial was out with an knee injury for a while last season. He's had 2 good seasons at Man United. He was good in his debut season under Van Gaal, and he was good the season before last. I said I also wanted to offload Juan Mata, but we're not going to this time round. I think Juan Mata will leave next summer when his contract expires. Don't forget, Juan Mata extended his contract until June 2022. Juan Mata's obviously lost that yard of pace, he's ageing up and he doesn't really get in R11, but I reckon he's had a good career at Man United. Juan Mata's been with us since 2014, so he's enjoyed a good 7 years or so at the club. We got him in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. We brought him in under the David Moyes era. The first part of last season, Juan Mata rejected an £18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. So there you go. Man United have made 3 signings in this summer transfer window. We brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Villa. We brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. And we brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid. We've spent around £120 million in this summer transfer window so far. But Solskjaer has been very pleased with our summer transfer business. I think Man United have enjoyed a good summer transfer window because we've made good signings and Solskjaer has received the backing he deserves. You know, Solskjaer wasn't backed enough for such a long time. And obviously, when we had Mourinho, he wasn't backed at all. When we had Van Gaal, he wasn't backed enough. And Moyes, he wasn't backed enough either. And like I've said to you, the Glazers, they have been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. Because obviously the Glazers have put Man United in so much debt. The Glazers have been at the club for 16 years. They purchased the club for £500 million back in 2005. But surprisingly, the Glazers have backed Solskjaer because they've been persuaded to. Towards the end of last season, the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League, and a lot of United fans were protesting against the Glazers at Old Trafford. Solskjaer did reveal though that the Glazers apologised. He said the Glazers could have been forced to sell Man United, but for only £4 billion. They weren't only protesting outside Old Trafford. Before that, there was protesting at the Carrington training ground, holding banners up and that. On the 4th of June, which was earlier on this year, Joe Glazer attended a fans forum, his first attendance in like 15-16 years, and he promised Man United supporters that Solskjaer would get the financial backing. Woodward has said several times before that he'd back Solskjaer. Woodward's been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time, because obviously Woodward was accountable for how poor our recruitment policy was. We've overpaid in that for players in recent years. I'm very, very happy that Woodward's leaving. It got announced he was leaving when that European Super League came into the equation. Woodward's had a 16-year association with the club. And John Murtaugh, he's played a part in getting Solskjaer the players he wanted in. John Murtaugh is our director of football, and we certainly made the right decision getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes we needed at the club. And plus Darren Fletcher, he's part of the club as well. Darren Fletcher knows the club through thick and thin, former Man United player. And Matt Judge, he's part of the club. This summer transfer window has been Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. But before the start of the season, Solskjaer spoke out on Man United's transfer plans. He did say any more signings would be a bonus for Man United. And before the start of the season, Solskjaer talked up Man United's title hopes. He said he knew the pressure is on. He made an admission saying that Man City are the favourites, but he said the title race is open. Solskjaer's ambition for this season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. I think Man United have got a chance of winning the Premier League. I certainly think the signings of Varane and Sancho turn Man United into title contenders. What an achievement it would be for Solskjaer if he was to win the Premier League this season. Solskjaer has to win a trophy this season, basically, to save his job at Man United, because Ollie's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager, and we haven't won a trophy since 2017, which is like 4 years ago now. But we have had a good start to the season, which is good. Beating Leeds last weekend 5-1, and we're beating Burnley in that behind closed doors game. I am expecting Man United to enjoy a good season. This season is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager. And he knows this is a massive season for him, because Solskjaer knows he's got big expectations to exceed. Before the start of the season, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year, so he did sign a new 3-year contract. A lot of United fans were unhappy with Solskjaer signing this new contract, because they believe that he won't see out this new contract. Ollie had under a year left on the current 3-year contract he signed when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. Solskjaer's been in charge of Manchester United now for almost 3 years. Reflecting how long he's been at the football club, he has gained some managerial experience and he's learned quite a bit on the job. But Ole hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. That's one of my concerns about him. And my other concern about him is his decision making, because in a lot of the games he has managed so far at Man United, he's been tactically naive. But there's been some games where he has showed tactical flexibility. And I thought he got it right against Leeds last weekend, but he's got to show tactical flexibility persistently. Like I've said to you before, the reason Solskjaer is still Man United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved his job, because we've endured very bad periods under Ole where he's been extremely close to getting sacked. Ole endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. Solskjaer has managed 152 games as Man United manager, so today's game will be his 151st. third. Progress has been made under Ollie because he's got us to semi-finals. Last season he got us to the Europa League final. That was his first major final as Man United manager. Last season he got us to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. So there you go, and last season got us a second place finish. In his first full season got us a third place finish. There's quite a lot of positives regarding Ollie. He's beaten quite a few big name managers. Obviously, he's beaten Marcelo Bielsa, 3 times now as Man United manager. You know, he's beaten Carlo Ancelotti a few times as Ollie. Also, he's beaten Pep Guardiola a few times. Beaten Brendan Rodgers, beaten Jurgen Klopp in the FA Cup, but he's not yet beaten Jurgen Klopp in the league as Man United manager. Also beaten Thomas Tuchel Solskjaer, he's beaten Julian Nagelsmann. Beaten Jose Mourinho. So there you go. Solskjaer has made good signings as Man United manager. Solskjaer has signed 13 players. And in total he's spent just over £400 million. Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. He's loaned quite a few players out. Some of them players are loaned out, have now returned from the loan spell. Some have obviously gone back out on loan. And obviously he's let quite a few players go permanently. Solskjaer has more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players, like he showed he would do when he got appointed in. And I like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. But you've got to turn around and say that Solskjaer has done a pretty good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager, because he was inheriting a lot of the deadwood and he's still inheriting some of the deadwood now. But there you go. Solskjaer is our best manager since Ferguson. He's our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. Solskjaer did recently say he wants new contracts for 5 players. That's Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, Luke Shaw, Marcus Rashford and Harry Maguire. We've extended a lot of players' contracts under Ollie. I give you the news on Bruno Fernandes yesterday. Bruno Fernandes doesn't want to leave the club. He's happy to stay at Old Trafford as contract talks go on. So hey guys, I'll be on for my match reaction later on for the Southampton Man United game. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.